let's talk about this Warcraft 3 Reforged situation. So, like I said, I'm going to be using this video here from Gameplay World, where basically they do a side-by-side comparison with what Blizzard teased at BlizzCon 2018. I believe it's even footage from a streamer named Grubby, if I'm not mistaken, that they're going to be showing here, because it's got like a face cam and stuff. And then they show you what the campaign actually looks like in the final product. And this is a very telling video in regards to what you can expect from Warcraft Reforged. So just keep in mind, the footage that's going to show up on the left side, that's what they initially shown at BlizzCon. And the footage that is showing up on the right side is what is actually in the final product. So let me just make sure the quality is maxed out. Let's take a look at this. See, I think this is Grubby.
Make it, Uther. Watch your tone with me, boy.
Like, just look at the cinematic quality on this side versus this side.
As if I could forget. Listen, Uther. There's something about the plague you should know. Oh no. We're too late. These people have all been infected. They may look fine now, but it's just a matter of time before they turn into the undead.
Oh yeah, this and this looks exactly the same thing.
What? How can you even consider that? There's got to be
just like this cutscene and this cutscene, just like
Uther. As your future king, I order you to purge this city. You are not my king yet, boy.
I can't watch you do this.
So this is extremely telling right here. Like, you can pause almost at any point in this video because this is almost a one-to-one. It's not directly one-to-one. The left side's a little bit delayed, but the audio is pretty much the same. So you get the idea of what is happening here. So basically, I'm going to assume that initially they had planned to do this kind of like cinematic cutscene treatment for every cutscene in Warcraft 3, which is the right thing to do if you want to make a proper remake of a video game. You know, this isn't just like they specifically say Warcraft 3 Reforged. It's not just an upscaling on the units and all that stuff. It's supposed to get a little bit more treatment to it. And this is something that I think a lot of fans were expecting. This harkens back to essentially the same treatment that StarCraft got in StarCraft 2, which is all of the cinematics in between missions are really, really cool. And they're really actual cool story moments for that game. And then you look at the complete lack of effort that was placed in the final product, which is just like, oh yeah, let's just pan in a couple of angles from the actual gameplay itself instead of working on cinematics for the game and just do it that way. This just shows you that Blizzard's like, dude, we gotta cut them costs, bruh. Ain't nobody working on no friggin' cinematics for the entirety of this game. It's just not gonna happen. And the worst part is that the game itself was delayed, I believe, because this game was supposed to come out in 2019, and it was delayed to the end of January, and then this is what comes out? Like, I'm extremely disappointed, but then again, that's not really anything new for Blizzard in these past couple of months, I guess. Actually, past couple of years, even, I would say. I was actually somewhat excited about potentially replaying this game. Not super, because I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on as well. A lot of other games that I want to play, and replaying Warcraft 3 when I don't have as much nostalgia for it as a lot of people do was not really at the top of my list. But, you know, still, I was still like, you know what? It's going to be a good game for people that care about Warcraft 3. It's going to be pretty friggin' sweet. All those remastered cutscenes and stuff like that. And no, Blizzard's like, nah, bro. Here's what you get. You get the minimum effort possible. And it's really disappointing. Because I actually thought it was interesting that I've made that video where I talked about the downfall of Blizzard. And a lot of people went onto that video and they were commenting stuff like, do you think Blizzard is falling? Like, and I think people didn't get that what I was trying to portray was a fall from grace, not necessarily a monetary failure, because I don't think Activision Blizzard is anywhere close to you know, to just like monetary ruin or anything like that. But it is most definitely a massive fall from grace when you look at what was promised. Like, I think if you go back like 5 years, I think 5 years should be about enough. You go back like 5 years, and I think most people were used to Blizzard exceeding our expectations as opposed to, you know, doing the exact opposite and under delivering. And yeah, this is what Blizzard is now. It's like they make these promises and then they give you this. Don't buy this, epic fail. Blizzard upset people again. Wow, 869 ratings, and what is this even from? This is from Google. Oh my god, dude, what is happening? 63. 0.8. Oh my god, dude. What the fuck? 0.8? That is insane. Let me take a look at some of these written reviews. Warcraft 3 isn't the game that was promised, but still a valuable reconstruction of one of the most influential titles in the history of video games. This release sadly is riddled with bugs, as well as 75 riddled with bugs, as well as marred by the terrible decisions of Blizzard, particularly that of the false advertising that persists now even after launch. Wow, they're still advertising it with changed cutscenes? That's insane. However, despite this, there's little doubting that Warcraft 3 Reforged has a compelling story. Yeah, the original game was great. I mean, everybody knows that. Such a powerful experience that simply outshines the many flaws of the Reforged operation. Some people wanted a complete remake, others called for hashtag no changes, and in the end we got the simplest remaster. Highest praise I can give to Reforged is that it's still Warcraft 3. The updated graphics are a welcome addition, which replaced the original game's out-of-date visuals with an impressive new look and feel. Unfortunately, the launch version of the game feels far from finished, with bugs and key missing features preventing the current build from being the definitive edition of Warcraft 3. It will likely get there eventually, but it's odd for a remaster to feel like it's starting from scratch, not presenting an endpoint. The question therefore arises, why should a Warcraft 3 player buy Reforged? So then we are left with Warcraft 3. Only a bit nicer figure models and surroundings and a small bunch of removed elements. If you have the old game from before, it is difficult to say that this renovation is worth the money. And when everything that's gone in Reforged is additionally removed from the old version of the game, it's hard not to scratch our heads and wonder what we're paying for. What's the point? Wait, so they removed stuff from Reforged and then they removed it from the old game as well. It's insane. Not only this game is terrible in every way possible, they also deleted the old game so you never played this game ever again. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. This is insane, dude. This is insane. I would have never thought 0.8. That's like another level. But the worst part is that when you have a user score of 0.8 and then you look at the critics and it's still 63. And it's like, Jesus Christ, and everybody complaining about the bugs and shit. This is just... Oh, man. But anyway, as I was saying, it was not enough that the game was ridiculously messed up, as we can see from the reviews, and the fact that they didn't deliver the promise on the cutscenes and all of that stuff. But on top of it, they automatically own all and any Warcraft 3 Reforged custom games. This is because Blizzard... the Blizzard legal team is still like, oh man, they took that Dota thing and they ran with it and now everybody else is making money on it but us. And they're so upset about it that they're going to basically stifle all creativity in this game, which is, it's a great idea, guys. I think that's exactly the right way to go. Freshly released remaster of Warcraft 3, dubbed Warcraft 3 Reforged, gives its players the tools they need to create custom game modes and maps, but this time around, Blizzard's end-user license agreement gives the studio ownership of any community-made custom content. New rules surrounding custom games, via spotted by a user on the Blizzard forums, come partnered with other restrictions that forbid creations made using copyrighted material or any content deemed inappropriate. No fun allowed, people. We can't have any fun. Blizzard's automatic ownership of custom games is an especially interesting new rule to hit the Warcraft 3 remaster, one no doubt tied to the fact that some custom modes of the original Warcraft 3 went on to become massively successful standalone franchises like Dota. Under the updated EULA, Blizzard gets immediate ownership of any custom games made by Warcraft 3 Reforged, and if the creator isn't able to give those rights away, Blizzard is instead granted an exclusive, perpetual, worldwide, unconditional, royalty-free, irrevocable license, enabling Blizzard to fully exploit the custom games or any component thereof for any purpose and in any manner whatsoever. Why not? Why not just like completely exploit people's creativity? I mean, it seems that they already exploit it on their own employees who are like extremely passionate about being a part of Blizzard and working on those IPs. They're already exploiting that. So why not exploit the passion of the fans as well that create these custom game modes by just telling them, hey man, anything you make, shit is ours, okay? So, yeah, guys, that's what's happening to Warcraft 3. I wasn't particularly excited about it because I don't have the nostalgia that a lot of people did, but I was hoping that the people that do care about it, like I know, for instance, that Hengist fucking loves Warcraft 3. I know for a fact that he was probably looking to do some Warcraft 3 stuff, and this is probably very disappointing for him as well, which is, yeah, dude, it's just... Blizzard just keeps sinking lower and lower and lower to the point of just like releasing the game as a buggy mess that is not even what was originally promised, and then just like stripping away any creative thing that you happen to make using their map editor. It's like, no, whatever you make in here is ours. That's almost like imagine for a moment if Adobe came out and said, hey man, any video that you edit in our software, that's ours. I'd be like, now wait a minute. Now wait a minute. I mean, imagine Adobe just coming down and being like, we're going to claim your whole YouTube channel. Your videos were edited on Adobe Premiere. And I'd be like, no, whoa, wait, what? Come again? It's kind of like the same thing in a lot of ways. I mean, it's not exactly the same thing, but in a lot of ways, you get the idea. Right? It's just,